What's up, guys? Welcome back to another day media video. Today's video is going to be a topic that I've been wanting to talk about for a long time, and just a topic that I kind of found out. Honestly, the last 2 months I've kind of been coming to this realization that most brands don't have a meaning, and that's something that no one talks about because everyone talks about your brand should have a meaning, and I'm one of the people who always says that your brand should have a meaning. But I stepped back within myself and I said, the brands that I really fuck with, do they have meanings? Not really, not even a little bit. But I do fuck with the vibe they created around their brand. So today's video is basically going to be a guide on how to make a brand that's literally just based on vibes and taste and being a curator. Because a lot of people in my group Origin, a lot of them are on the same vibe. They're like, I don't really have a brand that has a meaning, I just have a vibe. But there are some key factors and key things that I see repeat themselves a lot with brands that do not have a meaning. A brand with no meaning equals an owner with taste. And this is so important. If you're going to be like, hey, I want to create a brand, I don't want it to have a base meaning where a customer understands it by words, you kind of want them to understand it by being a curator. If you are going to do this, if you think you could do this, that means that you as a person have to be very fucking cool. And this might sound corny, but like the people that I follow and have a brand and it's just vibes within themselves, they're very good at finding cool shit that you might like. They're very good at being a curator and bringing things together and showing you how you could do it this way or showing you how you could do it that way or giving you new ideas and stuff like that through like cool shit that you like, materialistic things, clothes, shoes, all that shit. And they're so good at doing it that they can make you buy their brand while pushing a whole bunch of shit at the same time. A lot of brand owners right now that have brands, they're kind of clueless about everything else because they're so focused on creating a really good brand that they're not going outside of the brand and looking at cool shit and being inspired. AI is on the path of taking over every job ever, right? But something that AI doesn't have, it doesn't have taste. So AI can teach you everything I'm talking about. AI probably can teach you every one of these videos. You could put in AI and it probably knows something about it, or maybe it can teach you better. But what AI doesn't have that I have is I have a streetwear background and taste within it. I grew up actually loving this streetwear shit and actually immersing myself into it. And I'm sure most of you guys have as well. And that's something that nobody can ever take away from you. You have that background, and background turns into taste, and then the taste you turn into curator. I saw this TikTok video. I wanted to show you guys, but I can't find it. But this guy said after a while, because AI is going to take over and all these things, companies are going to start hiring people with taste. They need to find people who understand why things are cool and why they are not cool. Why does my company need this extra thing to add in this bucket, and why don't we need that? Why, when they show a marketer an ad, why is this cool? Why is this not cool? Do you understand if it's cool or not? Something school does not teach you how to create and become a curator. Because all that comes from is being inspired and searching and looking and searching and looking. School doesn't really give you that time to search and look and get inspo and try to become a human that is formed with a lot of ideas and reading books and doing all those things. School doesn't really do that because it kind of feels like free time a little bit, but it's not. You're learning. So I wanted to give you guys this, not analogy, but this is real world example of like, yeah, AI could be taken over, but if you have some type of taste, you're going to like survive it. So within your brand, a lot of people don't have taste that have brands. But let's say you could sit there and you have a brand that has a huge amount of timelessness and taste, and it's a curated brand and it's done by a really good curator. If you could do that for your brand has the power to grow faster than other brands. So one of the main things people ask, like, how do I make taste? How do I do this? I just told you, you have to go follow people with taste. You have to go watch stuff, look at shit. Just try to sit there and become a cool person. After a while, you will. So it is important when you try to make this brand that is a vibe brand. If you try to create a vibe brand, you have to pick a fucking aesthetic which that's where you streamline it. You have to pick an aesthetic that works for your brand. It's easy for you to curate stuff around it and find cool shit that works within it. You have to understand that no one is going to rock with your vibe brand if you are just fucking posting shit about your brand. No one cares about your brand. So if no one cares, how do I make people care? You make people care by showing them different outfits. Stop fucking having photo shoots with y'all's shirts, hoodies, I don't give a fuck what you're wearing, pants, and you don't style the model. Why is the model standing there with no accessories, nothing in their hand? There's no vibe building. They're just like, that's why a lot of brands are like, what can I grow? You're not styling it. You're not making it come to life. It still seems like it's in a JCPenney book. You know what I mean? Like, you have to style it. Y'all style photo shoots like JCPenney photo shoots. We are not JCPenney. You know what I mean? Like, have you ever, like, if you don't know what I'm talking about, fucking like old school early 2000s when your mom got like fucking JCPenney, like even farther than that, like JCPenney, what is it? Ashley Stewart ass fucking books, magazines, and the people they have no jewelry on, nothing, white background. It's stupid. It doesn't look right. So you have to create an aesthetic and you have to find one. Find the aesthetic and then you curate around it. That's the easiest way. Find one aesthetic that works. The aesthetic does not have to have a name. It could just be a vibe. Find one on the interwebs and find it that works well for your brand. If you are trying to become a vibe brand, you have to become a curator. Most of the time, the vibe brands that I like, I follow the brand owner to know what's going on with the brand. Because the brand owner is not only showing me their brand, they are also giving me game on other shit. Like, oh, look at these fly shoes I found. Look at this. Look at this. Oh, I'm going here today. That looks cool. You literally want to mold yourself into that character that brand owner is putting on, or real life person that brand owner is putting on. And when they do that, it makes you want to buy the clothes because the clothes are a part of the character and you want to be a part of that character with them. If you want a brand that doesn't have a meaning and you want a brand that's more of a vibe, understand that you will have to spend some money. Because it's not cheap, because you basically have to create this world and spend money on the world. So yes, you need to be buying peer spaces. Yes, you need to be buying clothes. You need to be going places that are cool as fuck. Other fashion people are going to. You need to be filming 24/7. Not 24/7, but as much as you can. Because that's when vibes are created. When you're in action with your brand and in your character. Be in action. That's a vibe brand, when you're in action as the character. So I'm going to show you guys examples of not a vibe brand that's trying to be a vibe brand and a vibe brand that is actually 100% being a vibe brand. A lot of brands do this as their vibe content. I was just talking to one of my people on my Origin group chat, and they want to do their brand like a vibe brand. They had a video like this, and I was telling them, from this video, here's a simple thing that you could do. Between these clips of the person standing there, how about you add a couple clips in between those of you in action doing shit in the clothes? Oh my gosh, it's fucking rocket science. It's like, I don't understand. Sometimes pieces are really cool that they could do this. I'm not gonna lie. But half the time, if you think like, oh, my piece is cool enough where I can stand and look around, if you think that, it's probably not. But I'm gonna say it again. Sometimes pieces are cool enough where they can just sit and stand. But if you do that, you still have to understand you're not creating a world, and you might just get a couple of sales that drop. But sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. This is not gonna work. I'm going to show you a brand that is a vibe brand, super popular. It's called Club 1984. I feel like they're growing really fast. Turn the song on. Like I said, you show the shirt, but you show the shirt in action. It's a combination of action shots, and it's a combination of showing what the brand is at the same time. I hope you guys understand that. A vibe brand is showing a brand in action. So a brand in action and a creator making a curated brand. If you don't understand that, I don't know, read some more books, but you know, I'm trying to explain it the best way I can. If you are confused about having a brand meaning, it's probably because you don't. And if you're going the no meaning route, please be prepared to curate the fuck out of everything you do. Meaning, every time your brand is in a room, every time your brand is in a space, it cannot be boring. It cannot have nothing around it. Every time you do something, you have to understand that you are building a fucking vibe around it. Every time you put your brand on a table or on the floor, how about you add some shit on the floor? Because I know people, they love to do that shit. Add some shit on the floor. I don't know. Start thinking. If you have a brand that has no meaning, brands that have meaning, it's easier to do shit because your brand speaks for itself. Now that your brand is not speaking for itself, you literally have to do everything to communicate with the customer as much as you fucking can. So, I hope this video helped you guys. I hope you guys understand where I'm coming from. Drop some comments, some questions below if you would like. I'll see you guys next week with another video. And yeah, I hope you guys like this. See you soon. See you soon? What the fuck?